Hello and a very good evening to you from the Rajamangala Stadium in Bangkok, where Thailand take on Vietnam in the final round of group fixtures in Group A of the AFF Suzuki Cup 2012. The equation is very simple. Thailand have already qualified for the semi-finals of this competition. Vietnam, they need to win this game, and they probably need to win it by a few goals to stand any chance of getting through to the next round. They'll also need other results to go their way, as Philippines will be taking on Myanmar in the other simultaneous match. Right now though, as usual, we'll have the national anthems first.
National Anthem of Thailand ขอได้โปรดแสดงความเคารพเพลงชาติไทย
So, a big task at hand here for the Vietnamese players, who are all smiles, but they've come in for a lot of criticism for their rather poor display so far. They could only draw with Minnows Myanmar and lost to the Philippines in the last few minutes in their last match. And that comes down now to this game, where they've left themselves a lot to do. It's an uphill battle for them. Winfried Schäfer, the German coach, will be very pleased with how his troops have done so far. A win against Philippines 2-1 and then a hammering of Myanmar 4-0. Here are the officials for you, by the way. The referee, Ryuji Sato. He is joined by assistant referee Otsuka Harihiro from Japan as well. Two other Lebanese officials. Hadi El Kassar from Lebanon is the second assistant. Andre Al-Haddad is the fourth official. The two captains here, finishing off the formalities. Siri Wong is the one for Thailand. Nguyen Minh Duc, the captain for Vietnam, on the right hand of your screen there. So let's have a look at the lineups then today. Well, we look at Thailand first. They're without suspended Pichitpong, while Adul Lasso and Chonlatit are both on one yellow card, so they are not going to be playing. It's obvious that Thailand and Winfried Schäfer have decided to rest a lot of their stars. And talking of stars not playing, Vietnam have sensationally dropped their golden boy, Lê Con Vinh, And in comes Nguyen Van Kiet, which is a huge surprise. But when you look at Lee Kon Ving's performances so far in this tournament, they've been listless. He's had very little to feed on. They're probably going to make him more of an impact substitute. Here's Pan Tan Tung, Winfried Schaefer's counterpart. He'll be under a lot of pressure today because they are, at the moment, looking like they will be eliminated at the group stage. It will be a fiery affair. These two neighbours have a lot of history. Pressure to deliver, of course, as well. No Datsakon Tonglao, the playmaker, nor hat-trick hero from the last game, Tirasil Dangda for Thailand, quite clearly giving the squad a bit of a run out. There was a thought that reserve goalkeeper, the former Thai #1 Sintawichai, would get a shout, but it's going to be Cowan who continues between the sticks. Lee Kon Vin, by the way, has not had a single shot in this tournament, and perhaps pays the price for this. Nice gesture to give Nuiat Siriwong the captaincy. He has not played a single match yet. Nice also to see Prayat Bunya, the Ratchaburi Metropole FC captain, who scored in his debut against Malaysia, by the way, and the only surviving member of the Tiger Cup 2000. He also gets a match today. Prayat now 33 years of age, so this would, you would assume, to be his last tournament. Winfried Schaefer having a little chat with his staff. Well, we were wondering who would go up front. A real surprise that the only two out-and-out strikers in the side, Lee Kon Vin, Nguyen Quang Hai, are on the bench. Nguyen Quang Hai has been used to replace Lee Kon Vin a number of times. So a little bit of a surprise. It's Nguyen Vu Pong who will be up front. Little shove there. Yeah, you take out Lee Kon Vin out of the equation. When you look at the Vietnam squad here, he's the only man, well, he's got a fantastic scoring record for a start, 31 goals and 54 international appearances. Not a single other player is in double figures. Now that is a huge concern, obviously, to this team. It's still a rather inexperienced Vietnam. Lee Kon Vin and Nguyen Quang Hai, both of who've been dropped for this game, have got 88 caps between them. Next up is Pham Tun Luong, who's got 40. Le Tan Tai, one of the star midfielders, is on 50. Nguyen Vu Pong, who's also playing today, on 43. And the goalkeeper, Duong, on 37. Otherwise, everyone is under 30 caps. Most of them still in the teens. So they have a big task ahead of them, this young, inexperienced team, as Thailand love to finish on a winning note, but not that important, obviously. We'll obviously also be keeping an eye closely on the other game. That's Philippines against Myanmar. Simple equation there. Philippines win, they are through. Philippines would have to have a massive victory, by the way, to have any hope of getting through. That's Le Tan Tai. Oh, sorry, Philippines would have to win by at least, well, depends on what happens here, but there's a 5-goal difference between the sides, so they'd have to score a few to win that game. think it's pretty safe to say that Thailand will come top of the group. So the equation here, Myanmar in fact could also somehow quite incredibly win. If Thailand win here, or if Vietnam fail to beat Thailand, put it that way, and Myanmar hammer the Philippines, then it would have to be a big hammering. It'd have to be by at least 4 goals. Then they go through. But that is seen to be the least likely scenario here today. If Vietnam failed to beat Thailand, it would be their worst AFF Championship record ever, as they've never left the tournament without a win. So, pressure then on this Vietnam side. Not the massive crowd. Unexpected, not unexpected, obviously, with Thailand already through in this dead rubber. P up on here with a big throw in. It's almost flicked on. Vietnam have to go all out to secure a much needed win over Thailand, who have much to expectation there, fielded a team consisting of second string players. But even Pan Tan Hung, the Vietnam coach, had said that they would make changes to their own lineup and formation in this game with Thailand, and as we said, Lee Kon Vin incredibly not starting this. That's a bold move by the coach. And as he said, though, they've got nothing to lose, so they're going to fight to the end. Le Tan Tai, the star midfielder for Vietnam, had said Thailand are a strong team, of course still a chance for Vietnam, so they have to play it out at their best. It'll be a big game, and even if they're eliminated in the group stage, they want to put on a good display and not let the fans down. Nice work, very nice work on by Pam. Surely a foul. Will that be a card perhaps? Or was it too early in the game for Sato? It's a good run by Nguyen Trong Huang. Prior. Oh, there's no doubt that's a poor foul, and really a little bit lucky perhaps not to get a card for the 33-year-old veteran, as we said. That was onside, by the way. They're going to take it again, though. I don't think they were ready for the whistle. They're going to go for goal from there. Oh, that's off the crossbar. That's a great shot. Unlucky for Vietnam. Good start there for Chao Su Kuong. Smacked that with real power. It beat the keeper, but not the upright. That's more like it from Vietnam. 28-year-old from Hanoi TNT. It's only 10 appearances for him, the 28-year-old rather. But he would have made a heck of an impact. That would have been his opening goal for his country. And what a goal that could have been. Well, that's better from Vietnam. They've just lacked killer instinct. They've lacked that will to go for goal. So a little bit of a scare there for Winfried Schäfer. That's going to be a corner for Thailand. Couldn't do much about that, the Thai keeper Duong. Vietnam have won this tournament once, 2008. In a tournament that has otherwise had a stranglehold for two countries. That's a good punch out by Duong. Is that onside? No flag raised. Looked like at least 3 players offside there, but the assistant disagreed. Also a little shove in the back from Kirati. This is Duong's punch. That was good from him as the advancing Sompong was coming towards him. Was there a foul there? It looked suspicious, didn't it? The referee says play on, then surely he's got to look at a card. Didn't give it. I'm afraid there's been a little bit of that diving coming into this game, which is something you really want to cut out. Singapore were the latest seem to be accused of it. Some harsh decisions though, I thought, in that game against Indonesia, controversial match. Another big throw, it looks like. It looks furious, Winfried Schäfer again. Oh, that's a good ball in. Nguyen couldn't quite get there. Was there a foul? Yes, it was. On Yen Gyatu. You can't blame Thailand. They're not really pushing themselves, are they? Too much. They need to, obviously. Doesn't give much away, this man, Pan Tang Hung. Vietnam at least looking a little bit more lively tonight. They just lacked any sort of intensity in their last couple of matches. They're winning those battles in midfield at the moment, the Vietnamese. That's good to see. Tan Thai is so key to their needs. Everything will be threaded through him. Cut out in the middle. Yes, so this tournament, the first 6 editions, all won by either Thailand, who did so in 1996, 2000, 2002, and Singapore in 98, 2004, 2007. Then Vietnam won it in 2008. And finally, the last championship in 2010 was won by Malaysia. Right across now to Pan. Still winning those battles, aren't they? The Thais are still not really getting into this game. And Winfried Schaefer now getting more involved. Another shove from Piapon on Ao Van Huan. Just got a handful of appearances out. Winfried Schaefer dismissed suggestions that his second string players will be pushovers for Vietnam. He said they're a good, strong team, but Vietnam will have to play hard as they need to win need the 3 points. Well, we'll also be playing for the 3 points. I just don't like to lose. Our players must fight, although there will be some concerns with yellow cards and injuries. Well defended. Good work down the right hand side as well. Lovely ball. Yes, I think the concern will be that virtually a full strength Vietnam is, if they don't win this, will get criticism for not being able to beat a second string Thailand. History, though, is actually surprisingly in Vietnam's favour. They have a very good record, an excellent record at the Rajamangala Stadium against Thailand with an impressive 100% winning percentage. Can they continue this today? Well, indications are so far they've been the closest to scoring. Thailand haven't really got out of first gear just yet. Need those goals, the Vietnamese. Offside. It's not going well. Hyun just off, I think. Actually, that is not offside. That is a poor call, I'm afraid. He was onside. The assistant has got that wrong. Well, when it's just not going your way, all decisions seem to make a difference. Vietnam was once the leading force in the game. They won the 1959 Southeast Asia Games gold medal. They also made the final rounds of the Asian Cup in 1956. A decline in form followed for some years, but in recent times they have emerged from the days of being considered an easy team. It's an easy goal! Well, it's just got even harder with Kirati now scoring for Thailand. The 25-year-old forward who hasn't got much game time opens the scoring for Thailand, and the expression on Pantang Hung's face says it all. Very good work indeed from Apipu. Squared it in, and an easy finish from Kirati. It's Thailand 1, Vietnam 0. Mission impossible now, perhaps, for Vietnam. And it's so early in the game as well. Do they have enough about them? And you've got to say, they've been the better of the two sides as well. 20 minutes or so gone. And they trail by a goal to nil. And remember, they need a win here, otherwise they're out. And let's just stress again, this is the second string Thai team. The surprise omission of Lekon Vin onside. Well, that looks surprising. Too much on that ball. Yeah, he looks distressed, doesn't he, Pan? Real pressure here now for Vietnam. How are they going to show the strength of character now? Can they bounce back from this? Thailand come bounding forward again. They're buoyant at the moment. It's a good, welcome selection headache for Winfried Schaefer if they're performing well enough to see who gets to the semi-finals. He's still at it though, the German. He's not going to stop gesticulating and going hyperactive on the edge of the technical area. That's a decent ball in. Oh, too much on it. Keeper comes out quickly. Cowan read the danger before Lien Guatao bear down on him. As I said, Vietnam, while they have to go all guns blazing, Thailand just suspect they're not really having to play much out of first gear, and that's a compliment to the Thais. Acrobatic clearance. They need something special here, the Thais. They've got to dig deep. Remember, they've never failed to win at least one match in this competition. So this puts a lot of pressure on them. Yes, so going back to Vietnam and their history, of course, when they were split into two national teams, North and South Vietnam. North Vietnamese team not very active, playing almost exclusively against other communist countries between 1956 and 1966, while the South Vietnamese team took part in the first two Asian Cup finals, finishing fourth both times. South Vietnam, of course, played their last match in 1975, but the unified Vietnamese national team only started playing in 1991, so really 16 years of isolation. And if you think about it, just 21 years back in the international fold, they really have impressed. Whereas everyone else, of course, has carried on playing. And they showed marked improvement, now capable of taking on the others in the Southeast Asian region. 1995 at the SEA Games in Chiang Mai, the whole country exploded into celebration when Vietnam unexpectedly qualified for the final. Massive celebrations in the streets of Vietnam. They finished second, but it was still an excellent result for the country. And in '97, they stunned Malaysia 1-0 in the group match and advanced to eventually finish third overall after beating Indonesia in the playoff. And they've only recently started a semi-professional league. So it's all beginning to happen for Vietnam, the V-League. Well, the fans at least look like they're still right behind the team. As is Pan Tan Hung. He has to get a goal here, and it could be interesting. They've gone for a cheeky ball. Oh, that was a nice looking move for Vietnam. Didn't get a goal. Just a taste of what could happen. Just wonder how long he'll hold on before he brings on Lê Con Vinh and perhaps even Nguyen Quang Hai. I'd say sooner rather than later, given the current position. Got to go in with two strikers, two out-and-out strikers now. Give it all you've got. It's a good-looking ball. Duong saw the trouble early before Kirati could swoop in on his second. Philippines are the surprise team again of this tournament. Don't forget they got to the shock. They were shock semi-finalists 2 years ago. They have changed the makeup of their team now, using plenty of players of Philippine origin, not necessarily born in the country. And a lot of these guys play in European leagues, so they bring a wealth of experience that most of these other players can't match. So that's where their advantage lies. They hold destiny in their own hands. Just to remind you, a victory over Myanmar in the simultaneous kickoff at the Super Chalasai Stadium books them a place in the last 4. They are the favourites to win that game. We will try to update you with those scores when we can. Which means Thailand can sit back here. Thailand would almost definitely come top of the group. And they could face any one of the 4 teams in Group B. Indonesia, Singapore, Malaysia and Laos all can still qualify, just like this group, which is what makes this so fascinating. That's poor. Now we go forward here. Chance here for Vietnam! Just wide. Palm had to put that on target. Disappointing for the Vietnamese. Cohen was flying there. That's the best chance the Vietnamese have had. Surely Palm could have done better than that. Prayat took a knock in the process. Let's see if we can get a replay of this. He really doesn't look too happy, does he, Pan? Well, this is the goal for Thailand from Kirati. Be nice to see that chance from Pan Tan Luong. They're delighted, aren't they, the Thai fans? Though I have to say, I'm not sure who they prefer to face in the 2-legged semi-final later on in December, as this tournament takes a couple of weeks off. Indonesia are perennial giants, never bridesmaids though, never won it. Singapore, 3-time champions, so both of them going for an unprecedented 4th championship this year. And Malaysia are the defending champions. Those are the 3 likeliest to get through. But Malaysia and Indonesia have left themselves quite a bit to do. It'll be one of those 2 sides going through, most likely. Winner take all then, really, in that game. Singapore have the relative easier task of just having to get a draw against Laos at the very least. A win would secure them possibly top spot. No one on that side certainly would want to face Thailand in the way they're playing at the moment. They'd fancy their chances against either Philippines or Vietnam. the two most likely to get through. I think Singapore particularly would want a measure of revenge, having lost to Philippines in a couple of friendlies in recent weeks. First time Singapore have lost to them in more than 2 decades. As of now, Thailand are cruising here, 1-0 thanks to Kirati in the 20th minute. Can report to you that it's goalless at the moment between Philippines and Myanmar. So it's not the end of the world for Vietnam here. A draw may not be enough for the Philippines. Remember that. Vietnam can still go through, but they would need at least 2 goals here now that they've conceded another one. So they need to win, or rather they need 3 goals. They need to win by 3 goals here. So many permutations. And that message I'm sure will come through at half-time from Pan Tan Hung. Just a little bit of pressure on the Philippines. That's a nice ball down the left-hand side. Is it enough? It's a corner. We're now sorting out his defence. They get a goal here. This absolute change of complexion. You just feel that the Vietnamese would just lift their spirits. It's been a decent response from them since conceding. That's the encouraging sign. Still with Vietnam here. That's a poor ball. The easy one for Cowan. Ball's been thrown out of play. There's a man down there for Thailand. Pierpont just for the back of his head. He had a knock earlier in the game as well. I think it was just a punch on the head from the goalkeeper. So tomorrow night, similar like tonight, 2 simultaneous Group B matches. Malaysia, Indonesia will be a cracking game in that. While Singapore play Laos. As I said, all 4 have a chance. The Vietnam team manager, Nguyen Le Bang, had said their chances of qualifying are slim. But if we win against Thailand by 2 clear goals and the Philippines and Myanmar draw, we will qualify. The Philippines wins the game and we are finished. We have no hope. If Myanmar win, we have a chance if we beat Thailand. So as I said, as it stands, Vietnam still in with a chance right now because Philippines haven't broken stubborn Myanmar defence. But they were broken by Thailand on the 27th, Tuesday. Thailand Smashed 4 past them, thanks to a Tirasil Dungda hat-trick. He's on the bench tonight in the 20th, 82nd and 89th minute. Apipu got another goal. That's a nice shot, which Cohen punches over. Nien Trong Hoang with the long-range attempt. There's been a number of long-range shots tonight. It was dipping, wasn't it? These balls move all over the shop. They are pushing here, the Vietnamese, not for lack of trying. That's good for Pan to see. Across the face of the goal. Oh, that's a poor effort. You'd expect more from that distance from Nien Gyatu. Surely he's got to be looking at Lê Con Vin. And Nien Quang Hai to come through. Could he have left that as well, the ball? Just over. Another injury problem. Can't see who that is yet, but just wonder whether Winfried Schäfer would risk a star or two. No point, of course, as we said. Yes, the Vietnam team manager, Ngo Le Bang, who's sitting behind the coach here, Pan. Two different styles here. You see Winfried Schäfer can't keep still. Nien, more reserved, but now showing a bit more emotion as it's crunch time in this tournament. Good to see the kids in attendance here in a game that you wouldn't expect too many people to come to. Good to let the kids in to show their support, give them some experience of this sort of football. Yes, Ngo Le Bang had said that we're very upset and disappointed with our results so far. Vietnam have a good tradition in the competition, and we need a good performance against Thailand to meet the demands of our fans. Less than 5 minutes to go in this first half AFF Suzuki match between Thailand and Vietnam. It's 1-0 at the moment to the Thais, thanks to Kirati's 20th minute goal. They're going to make that change after repeated injuries for Pierpont. He's replaced by Chanatip Songkrasin. Just 19 years of age, the midfielder plays for BEC Tero Sasana. He replaces Pierpont. That's Pam. Space on that right-hand side. Another overlap there. Smashed away. Well, Again, I think that's onside. I have to say, that's two poor calls from the assistant on that end. I think that's Hadi Al-Qasar. Twice now on that far end, he's got them wrong. And on both occasions, Vietnam were in a decent position. Frustration for the Vietnamese. They haven't shown too much emotion about it, which is good. Vietnam desperately need a goal now, really. Would just boost them for the second half. So how many added minutes of time? About to get an indication. I think it might be 2. Just about to say Vietnam don't want that whistle to go, but right now they could be looking at goal number 2. There was no support whatsoever. Nice ball in from Karate. 3 minutes of added time. That's a little bit of a surprise. I don't actually recall that many problems, but of course as soon as I say that, there is a Thai player down. Sumanya, who has been a regular in this side, 25-year-old from China FC, on the ground. Thailand beat Philippines 2-1 thanks to Pornsai's 39th minute goal and Kinpong Sri in the 41st. That was a challenge. It's a nice ball as well to release Kirati from this man Sumanya. Confirmation of the 3 minutes of added time. Vietnam want to get on with it. They've on a little bit of a roll here. Poor ball, goes out of play. Can they get a goal these dying seconds of the first half? Not many numbers in the box. They get a throw in. Be very interesting to see who comes up for Vietnam in the second half. I just think even if Le Con Vinh is struggling a bit at the moment, his sheer presence in the side may just lift them. He is so heavily relied upon by the Vietnamese. Talismanic striker could make the difference. 2 out-and-out strikers, as I said, may be the way to go. They've got nothing to lose, the Vietnamese, but they have to score at least 2 goals, possibly 3. there you have it. First half comes to an end, in which Thailand started slowly. Vietnam showed lots of verve. Had a couple of long-range efforts, one hit the crossbar. But it was the Thais who struck first, thanks to Kirati in the 20th minute. Vietnam have actually responded pretty well. But there's pressure here on Pan Tan Hung. What will he do at the start of the second half? Will he bring on his star strikers, Lê Con Vil? For now, though, at the Raja Mangala Stadium, half-time score here in this AFF Suzuki Cup match. It's Thailand 1, Vietnam 0. Join us for the second half in a bit. Welcome back to the second half of this AFF Suzuki Cup match. Between Thailand and Vietnam. It's goalless. It's 1-0 rather to Thailand at the moment, with Vietnam needing to win this match to have any chance of getting through. A couple of changes already. Tiraton comes on for Thailand. He replaces Anucha Kitpongsori. Looks like Nguyen Van Kiet, rather, Nguyen Quang Hai comes on. Still no sign of Lê Con Vinh. A real surprise. A statement of intent perhaps from Pan Tan Hung. Well, we can tell you right at the start of the second half, Phil Younghusband has scored for the Philippines. It's 1-0 over there after a stubborn Myanmar had shut out the Philippines. And that means in this game, Vietnam are out, no matter what they do here, if it remains this way, unless Myanmar can bounce back. Just wonder whether that news will filter through, but that's of huge disappointment, I'm sure. They'll still want to win this game. Near post. Easy one for Cowan. That's good stuff. Good start from Nguyen Quang Hai. As I said, he gets a nod ahead of Lê Con Vinh. Big surprise here. Remember, each time he has come on ahead of Lê Con Vinh, he's been substituted in both games, but there's a sort of a reason for that. Don't forget, Lê Con Vinh was a bit of a star. He's been a bit of a star. He's scored the goal that won Vietnam the ASEAN crown in 2008. He has misfired against the Philippines here in Myanmar, but the team manager, Ngo Lo Bang, has said he can come to the rescue at some point today. He said our tactic will be all-out attack, and we need goals from Lê Con Vinh. First of all, you have to bring him on the pitch to do that. He was out injured for 3 weeks leading up to the AFF Suzuki Cup, but his sharpness is coming back game by game. He's a great player and a goal scorer, but it is up to head coach Pan Tan Hung if he plays. That is the key here. So the injury problem may go to some way to explain why he's been as poor as he has. Not a single shot on goal, remember, not a single shot at all. Smashed away. Just a little bit of a slip there. Well, if that news has filtered through to the players, it must be heartbreak. Now, they have to be professional about this. They have to just look at trying to get 3 points against the Thais. That's a good-looking ball! Cleared off the line. Artit with the cross. Picked out his man superbly. Rather, it was Sompong to Kirati. And the follow-up shot, not accurate enough, but a real sign there. Chanatip, by the way, has also come on. As we said, first half substitute for Piapon, who was injured. They'll need to show a little bit more attacking verve here, Vietnam. Looking for a decent ball into the box. There's only a couple of players there. Palm will take the shot. Screws it wide. Nice intent from them. It is a corner, so it did indeed take a deflection. Yes, the Vietnamese can only worry about their game. They can't be too focused on what's going on elsewhere. Their mandate is to win, and everything else has to just take care of itself. Well, a number of Thai players have fallen down time and time again. Apipu is the latest injury. Vietnamese players already asking if he could just keep an eye on the time. It looks like a problem with his left knee. Credit to the Vietnamese fans that they're still going for it. Apipu, will he carry on? There's only one sub left for the Thais. The Philippines are really becoming a force now in Southeast Asian football. 2 semi-finals it looks like they're going to make in successive tournaments. That means they really have begun to show themselves. And it's just changing the balance of order, isn't it? It used to be the traditional big five, as it were. Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia and Vietnam. Now joined by the likes of Philippines, and the minnows will remain with the likes of Brunei Laos, Cambodia, Myanmar, and Timor-Leste. Nations make up the ASEAN grouping, or AFF grouping. In fact, Australia is also a guest member of the group. Another long-range effort. But Myanmar have just spurned what we hear is a good opportunity to equalise. They are still proving to be a thorn in the flesh of the Philippines. As it stands, the only undefeated team in the competition, or at least with a 100% record, is Thailand. Indonesia also have not lost. Everyone else has. Needs a good return ball. Onside here for Vietnam. Needed a quicker release by Palm. That's a poor decision. On the right-hand side, Le Tan Tai wanted the ball earlier. Still waiting to see if Le Con Ving will make that appearance. This is from much earlier on. Kirati took a bit of a tumble there. Scrambled away for a corner. Don't tell me it's corner flag time already. Sompong Soleb doing well. Nice intricate passing from the Vietnamese. It's that final product that's been really lacking. Neat play, very nicely done. Now 3 against 2 for the Thais. Needs a decent finish on Kirati. Heavy first touch, but they had the Vietnamese stretch there. Vietnam leading in the corners department, but they don't care for that. It's only one column that matters to them. It's a nice ball that had Kirati stretching. Space in the midfield now. Come forward again. Oh dear, too much on that ball, racing away. Chance here. And they time and time again, these long-range efforts, when it seems easier to get it on target, just seem to race away from the goal. Always rising, that one. Still resisting the temptation here for Lê Con Vinh. The fans here, particularly the Thai ones, certainly enjoying themselves. They'll be waving those flags non-stop. Get a decent ball. Finally a shot on target, but it's not enough power in it. And again, it's Pub with the effort. Go in for the second ball, I think. My lip-reading skills still need a little bit of work. I think he was talking to China Tip. Winfried Schäfer. Certainly a decent second half performance from Vietnam, but it's not enough. Shooting boots have been severely lacking. The only man to have scored so far in this tournament is Le Tan Thai in that victory over Myanmar. And if they'd managed to win that game, it would have been a very different story. As it is, they still have a lot of work to do. Down the middle. Poor control again. We spoke about Vietnam's history. What about Thailand? They are Southeast Asia's most successful team, having won the Southeast Asian Games gold medal a record 13 times, including 8 consecutive goals till December 2007. Trying to get that through ball. They've never qualified for a World Cup before. Thailand had a decent campaign this time though. That's a nice ball, and it's got through Kirati. 2 goals for him, 2 goals for Thailand, and it's all over now, surely. A great cross, and an even better header beats the goalkeeper Duong. And it's curtains for Vietnam at this point now. Stone-faced expression on Pan Tan Hung's face. His team are on the plane back to Vietnam tonight. A pinpoint cross from Sumanya. Wonder if Duong could have done anything more with that. No, he couldn't have. I don't think so. A well-placed cross in between the 2 defenders. And the second string Thailand really making Vietnam work for this. A delight for the crowd. And I'm afraid for Vietnam now, it's about maybe damage limitation. They've got to look at themselves today. They really have been undercooked for this tournament. Limping away. Here's Natapol, replaced by Panupong Wongsa. He's actually normally the captain of this team. Was rested for today, gets a bit of a run out. He's from Wantong United, which is very well represented in the Thai squad. 7 of the team, of the squad, play from Wantong. 6 of the team come from Chonburi, who did very well in the, not only the AFC Champions League in the group stages, just failed to qualify, but then got all the way to the semi-finals of the AFC Cup, which they then dropped down to. So arguably the 2 strongest teams in Thai football. Muangthong, of course, had the player-manager Robbie Fowler before last year when he came in for a stint. Zeshan Rahman, the Pakistan international, former Fulham defender and QPR defender, was also there. It's a yellow card for Le Tan Thai just to compound their misery. Puts up his hand in apology. Really, nothing to apologise about tonight for Thailand. Looks like 3 wins out of 3, the only team with a 100% performance. 100% win rate at the moment. And all the tricks and flicks coming out now for the Thais. Well, it looked like a foul there by Nien. Came out quickly, Duong. Just looking like they're lacking in ideas here, the Vietnamese. Palm there tackled or tripped over by Sumanya. Another yellow card. Oh, it's a straight red card. Sumanya's off for a second challenge, I think. Well, this has taken a little bit of the gloss off this win because Sumanya will miss the next round. No, it's not Sumanya, it's Artit. Yeah, lashing out there at Pam. Did look a little bit of a soft one. The strict letter of the law is, of course, it is a straight red. 10-man Thailand now. Will this give them a boost, baby? Well, it might just even things up for Vietnam. Is this a glimmer of hope? Well, if it is, they need a goal, and they need it right now. Oh, they get the goal! Is that onside? Nguyen Van Kiet has maybe just given his team a lifeline here. Just after the sending off, to the delight of their fans. They need 2 more of these goals, though, to have any chance. He did get a touch on it, but was he onside? Well, I guess he timed his run superbly. Well, these are not the angles that help us. But he must have got a flick on there. Well, have we now perhaps got a game in our hands? Only the second goal they've scored. Eight shots they've had to Thailand's 4. I wonder if there's just a bit of disarray. Thailand, I think, do have one more substitution to make if they want, luckily for them. That could just be the catalyst that the Vietnamese need. Is there just a hope here for Vietnam? Well, it looked like a bit of a foul there, actually, on Chanatip, and a little knee in the chest for good measure. Winfried Schaefer said the hunger is back in this Thai squad. And he hopes it'll make all the difference in this competition. Apipu also has problems. Just a few injury concerns then for the Thais. Not that it's affecting the fans at the moment, they're enjoying themselves. And Schaefer had said that the last few friendlies before the tournament, we'll talk about those in a short while, showed the determination of the players, and it's certainly demonstrated how hungry they are for honours. Thailand, he said, want to lift a record 4th title after a 10-year drought. asking for the card. Pham Tan Luong looking innocent. To be fair, I thought he had his back turned. Well, he may just have got away with it. Now, the Thais can't believe that's not a yellow card. It'd be nice to see this incident again. Yeah, that should be a yellow card. He purposely put his leg out there to stop the kick, even though he had his back. He was looking. Palm's got away with it. Silly, unnecessary, really unnecessary. But he's lucky he didn't get one. Yes, Winfried Schaefer said. Well, before that, let's just tell you that Nguyen Vu Pong comes on. He will be replacing Nguyen Trong Huang. 27-year-old, one of the more experienced members of the squad, 45 caps. There was a feeling that he might have started this game as well. Still no Lê Con Vinh. ...15 minutes or so, just about, with some added time. For Vietnam to try and turn this around. Frustration for Vietnam and a card for Ao Van Hoan. Who's really on the tail of his opposite number, Chanatip. Good position. Near post, no problems there for the goalkeeper Duong. Yeah, Winfried Schaefer said, as a coach, I'm not under any pressure, which was a little bit surprising to hear. Of course you are. He said, we're the co-hosts of the biggest tournament in the region. I hope the Thai fans fill Raja Mangala Stadium to capacity and give spirit to the players. Attendance has been average, I have to say. He feels, though, that they can win this AFF Suzuki Cup. But he feels that there are 4 very good footballing nations in Group A. Schaefer, of course, is no stranger to success. Has won the UEFA Cup as a player. Borussia Mönchengladbach won the Bundesliga as well in 1970 and won the German Cup as well in the same year, the double. As a coach, he's been pretty successful. 2002 African Cup of Nations with Cameroon. FIFA Confederations Cup runner-up in 2003. Won the UEFA Football League champion with Al Ain in 2006. So he's got a record of success. Offside, that's good defending. As Thailand went through some big name managers in the past, Peter With, Peter Reid, Brian Robson. Only With really had any success. That's not much communication between goalkeeper and defender. Conceding silly fouls here, the Vietnamese. Needs to be careful. Oh, he's already on a yellow card. As I said, Chanatip's showing him up a couple of times, which hasn't helped. It's fired away. Crowd now getting excited. They hope for a third goal. Oh, it slipped through. He's claiming a hat-trick here, Kirati. And just when Vietnam thought they might be mounting a fight back, I think it's actually an own goal. We'll have to see now. They wanted a third goal and they got it. I'm not sure Kirati got much on that. It looked like it came off Nguyen Gia. He may have just got a touch on it. I even thought that perhaps Pryor got something on that goal, but Kirati's claiming the hat-trick. Let's see what the officials deem it. Surely looked like an own goal to me. 3-1 now for the second string Thai side. I'm afraid that could well be the end of Pantan Hung's managerial career for the national team, such as the way that managers are treated sometimes in this part of the world. And it has been a limp Vietnam performance, not only tonight but throughout this tournament. It's a yellow card for Sumanya. Yeah, just trying to size down Yen Nyok Dui. Well, now, as I said, it's just about getting consolations for Vietnam. Can't see them coming back at this point. Just imagine when they have their full team together, how much more potent they can be. Informed striker Tirasil Dangda, who scored a hat-trick against Myanmar, is the joint top scorer of the Thai Premier League last season. 24 goals he scored for champions Muangthong United. He's got that killer instinct. Midfielders Pichitbong and Datsakon, they're the playmakers. Wing-back Tiraton, who came on in the second half, he can bombard oppositions with his left-footed in-swinging corners and free kicks. Winfried Schaefer, this man here, describes Tirasil as having a good nose for goal, will always be up front, but he is quite prone to using him as a lone striker, with 5 in midfield and 4 at the back. But I think Kirati may have given his coach something to think about for the semi-final. Who they'll play, we'll only know by the end of tomorrow evening. Yes, they've finally decided to give it to Nien Gatu as an own goal. It just marks a miserable evening and tournament overall for the Vietnamese. Heads will roll, I'm sure, for this. Obstruction. Thailand get a free kick. It's all going very wrong for the Vietnamese. He's been a handful, hasn't he, Chanatip? Chow blocking him. Only 19 years of age, youngest member of this Thai team. He shows a lot of promise. Winfried Schaefer decided to rest Tirasil, as we know, and Chon Latit and Adul Lasso, who have all been booked once to make sure they'd be available for the semi-final. Pichitpong was suspended after 2 yellow cards, so he obviously can't play today. And Datsakon was also given time to recover from a nagging groin injury. So just imagine, as I said, when they're at full strength, how much better they'll be. Chanatip has been so impressive since coming on. They call him the Thai Messi, by the way, as he makes his debut tonight. And he's shown some of those skills. A real handful he is. Tiraton having a few words. Yen Nyok Dui is carded. Frustration boiling over little by little for the Vietnamese side. The Thai team actually suffering from a flu bug that's spread through the camp at the moment, so they'll be grateful the semi-finals are actually a couple of weeks away. He's hoping no more goals, please. Not convincing from Duong. Good work down the left-hand side, but it's backward Thailand. Thailand prepared for this with a number of friendlies. 2-1 against Laos, they won at home on the 12th of September. That was expected. Another good win for them on the 7th of November, this time 2-0 against Malaysia. And they ended off with 2 feel-good friendlies. On the 14th of November, they hammered Bhutan, real minnows, one of the lowest ranked sides in the world, 5-0. Followed that up on the 17th of November with a 5-0 hammering of Bangladesh. of course then went on to beat Philippines 2-1, hammer Myanmar 4-0, and a 3-1 up here, unless Vietnam can do something with it. That's a good save from the keeper Cowan, who's not had that much to do today. Palms worked hard. 4 minutes of added time. Vietnam are out of this tournament, really. They too had decent preparation. 16th of October at home to Indonesia, goalless draw. 24th, a surprising 1-0 defeat at home to Turkmenistan. Bounced back with a 4-0 hammering of Laos on the 26th of October. Finally, on the 3rd of November, it's been a while since they played, haven't they? They lost, they beat Malaysia 1-0. Followed it up with a poor 1-1 draw with Myanmar. And then that 1-0 defeat to the Philippines right at the end of the match. Painful expression on Lertantai's face. He's not been involved enough here. What's interesting, of course, is that Thailand actually have a very good record here. We already said 100% record. They were hoping to draw on good memories from 2008 when they beat Thailand 2-1 in the stadium in the first leg of the AFF Suzuki Cup final, before going on to win the title for the first time with a 1-1 draw in the Maiden Stadium in Hanoi. The last time they played, in fact, was here in Thailand, 2-1, that was 2008. In a group game earlier on the 6th of December, almost exactly 4 years ago to the day, Thailand beat Vietnam 2-0. They had a friendly on the 16th of November 2008, a 2-2 draw, and plenty of draws before that. In fact, in their last 8 games, it's been 3 wins for Vietnam, or 3 wins for Thailand rather, 1 for Vietnam, and a draw. Well, just to compound matters for Vietnam, Angel Guirado has just made it 2-0 for the Philippines. It's all over now, without a shadow of a doubt. Again, another corner Vietnam. Yes, just going back to that, 3 wins for Thailand, 1 for Vietnam, 4 draws in their last 8 matches. Thailand have scored 10 goals in that time. Vietnam have only managed 5 in this stadium. Thailand have played 4, won 1, lost 1, and drawn 2, scoring 3 goals. Vietnam 2. I think Thailand, Vietnam rather, would just want that whistle to be blown, and end their misery. Last effort here for a consolation goal. It's threatened to boil over, hasn't it? Hasn't quite done it yet, but Thailand have been so much better than Vietnam. And there will be questions to be answered of how and why they performed so poorly. Well, I have to just correct myself. It's still 1-0 in that tie game. Doesn't matter because in that Philippines game, because the whistle has gone there. Philippines are through, as are Thailand. They've won this game, and they've won it convincingly despite fielding a second-string side. Winfried Schaefer had said they would coast through, and they have. It's disappointment for the fans who've made the trip. They look pretty upset. But in truth, Vietnam have been poor throughout this tournament. First time they've failed to win a single game. It's their worst ever performance in the AFF Suzuki Cup. 2 goals from this man, Kirati. An own goal from Nguyen Gia Tu. Vietnam gave themselves a brief glimmer of hope when Nguyen Vian Kiet made it 2-1. But really, Vietnam not good enough on the night, knowing they needed to win and hope other results go their way. The final score here at the Rajamangala Stadium, it's Thailand 3, Vietnam 1. Thanks a lot for joining us. We'll see you again soon.